It's not legitimate. I'm sorry. You know, and I just say, you know, to Capcom, what all they did was introduce instability to the game. You know,
And you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna introduce even more instability to the game because a DLC patch is coming out within the next week or so with new gems and new balancing. So, how do you break an even more broken game? Add more broken gems.
That is true, but I hope they add like more gems, like for quick combos or something to like increase like more of a speed or defensive thing. I don't mind the attack up, defense up, or speed, but anything that has to do with the whole. Let me switch back. Anything that has to
okay.
do with the whole auto teching, auto blocking, easier input, super easy input. Don't even bother playing the game because now you're just showing me that you're fucking 5 years old and you don't want to comprehend shit. So for all the people who actually sits there and wants to enjoy the game and learn for its mastery, this is what it's for. I don't want no casual random 12 or 13-year-old kid coming up on the mic and fucking beating me because he had Hugo with fucking auto tech, auto block, no chip,
Easy
yeah,
input.
easier input, and he only has to hit forward X. Like, come on, I don't need that nonsense right now.
I'll tell you what. Honestly, as much as I hated CVS2 EO, I'd rather have had the EO in there as opposed to gems. You know what I mean? Because if you use the easy operation or the easy mode from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it's like it would take a lot more away from the player. You know what I'm saying? So it's just I don't know. I mean, Nelson, you made some great points. You give these gems to good players, you're gonna make them unbeatable. And then, you know, what Demiz was saying with introducing the Tekken, you know, juggling and all that. I mean, I'm just saying, in hindsight, you know, the game can be saved if they're really willing to go the extra mile and do some drastic changes. You
Come
know,
on,
like
this is Capcom we're talking about here. You know that's not
well,
gonna happen.
the new producer, if I hope he's taking things, you know, for face value, and you know they made that list on event hubs and everything. I mean, if he follows that, then I think over time the game is gonna get better. You know, I mean that block stun, you know, that on the jab, that gotta get fixed. There's so many things that just need to be fixed, but they have to really be willing to go for it. They have to step outside of that box, and the vision that Ono-san had for the game, completely throw that out the window. You know, because they were living and dying by this gem system, and just completely fucked up the experience for me. You know what
And
I mean?
also, you can't combine a 3D fighting games engine, its fighting game system, and it doesn't translate over to a 2D plane. So you have to build. If you're gonna do that, you have to build the Tekken characters or whatever 3D fighting game you're gonna use. You're gonna have to give them their own unique moveset that translates over into the 2D fighting game universe. You just can't cut and paste from Tekken or whatever 3D fighting game, like, okay, we're just gonna make a 2D version of this. You can't do that because it won't translate.
Well, you know, and they did, you know, actually, not to counteract what you're saying, but I do get what you're saying. But they did make attempts to make different versions of those moves to fit in the 2D universe. You know, like some of Kazuya's moves, Heihachi's moves, they come straight from Tekken. But then you got a lot of Raven's moves that weren't you won't find over in the other games.
Yeah, but I'm saying you have to rebuild it totally from the ground up. You can't just like, okay, for instance, Kazuya's they put his spinning ground uppercut in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's a move that in Tekken, essentially you hit the person one time and they're gone. But that move doesn't translate over
Oh
very
yeah, I see what
well
you're saying. I see what you're saying.
because it becomes like a launcher for a juggle combo that you can do some stupid damage with, and you can't defend against that. So that's not something you want to translate over into the 2D plane because you're essentially making the move cheap to compensate for its loss of power.
Ah, good point. Good point. Nelson, you have any input before we start to wrap up?
Well, Basically, as I said earlier, they can't really transition. Like, this is just my opinion. I'm sorry for all you Namco Bandai fans that's into Tekken, but that game is full of shit. It's garbage. It shouldn't be existing on this planet. Because I was playing it earlier because my friend came over and he wanted to troll me. So he put on Tekken 6. Literally, that game takes no skill for any use of the characters that's in the game. Only person that I respect is King because he uses all the directions and all of the buttons fully to the game. Unlike what they do in Cross Tekken, they're giving Tekken characters to actually have a purpose in life. So, my opinion, this game just needs a complete overhaul. It needs to be fixed to the point where they should take key elements from Skullgirls, Guilty Gear, and probably from the existing Street Fighter 4, where you're able to maneuver in the sense that you can break certain combos if it gets too cheap, or just have a specific mode where there's no gems at all, so people like the hardcore players like us three in the room can actually have a respectable fight, and I will give you my acknowledgement that you're better than me if you win. I'm not going to acknowledge anyone who uses Hugo with like
Triple defense
yeah,
gems.
with triple defense gems or fucking like auto tech and nothing but like powered up shit. That means that you just want to do like the 1, 2, 3 kill. I'm not
Yeah.
cool with that, but in my opinion this game just needs to get like revisited and it just needs a stronger team to make this shit better.
All right. So on a final note, I know Capcom went on publicly to say that this will be the only version of the title. There won't be a super or an upgraded version. Considering,
When has
considering,
Capcom never put out a super or ultra or another revision of the game? When has Capcom never done that?
now I think because they publicly said that they're not going to, they kind of caged themselves in because it would take for them to redo the game and release a Street Fighter Cross Tekken 2 or a new or super version to fix all the bad. Because what they're doing is putting band-aids or trying to fix junk at
All
this
right, cool.
point.
Hang on a second. Nelson, you might know this. When's the TGS or the Germany game show? When does that usually take place?
The Tokyo Game Show starts exactly
November, I think.
September 7th, and the Germany one supposed to be happening in July or August.
Oh,
All right, so I'm gonna go on record here and say after TGS is when you'll start to hear information about a Super Street Fighter Cross Tekken, guaranteed.
Hey, nMo fans, that is the Mizzle. So if you want to challenge him on that, leave a comments below. Make sure you check out Fighting Game League. Check out the Facebook page. A lot of information is coming out on there. You know, the Twitch TV is growing. And those of you who've been recently subscribing, thank you very much. It's looking really good for us. If we can hit that 900 mark, 1,000 mark, that'd be great. You know what I mean? Because that'll help Fighting Game League, it'll help nMo. We can get that sponsorship. Screw Attack, I'm coming for you guys. We're gonna apply again for a sponsorship. We're trying to do bigger and better things. But the only way that can happen is through you guys' support. Again, shout out to IGN for using my 4 seconds of fame. Black Dragon, giving you a shout out, and to all the people out there in video game land, to Michael Hurdle, I'm still looking for you. Nelson's gonna get it too. We're gonna hook this up. Yeah. So I didn't forget. But anyway, any final comments for the group?
We see you, Yuri Dragon, lurking in the channel. We see you lurking in the chat room. Shout out to you, brother.
All right, nMo fans, Fighting Game League fans. We will see you next time on the nMo and Fighting Game League broadcast. Peace.